This is Don't Panic, episode number 358, recorded March 20th, 2023. Hello, everybody. Welcome to this episode of Don't Panic, the technology podcast on gadgets, the internet, and where would we be without you? I'm Sean Jennings, joined by two guys feeling the lucko the Irish. It's Colby Rabideau and Dan Miller. Good evening, gentlemen.
Hello.
Hi, Sean.
Greetings.
Salutations.
Sean, did you change your setup again?
Yeah, well, actually, I did tweet. It's so funny. What did you think has changed?
Was that table always behind you?
Yeah, well, actually, I don't think you guys have seen my... So that's my desk, but then I have my grandmother's antique sitting chair.
Wow. That's cool.
Yeah, they would actually call it a gossip chair, because on the little side next to it, you'd put a telephone or something, and you'd sit in it and talk. But no, that is not new. No, all I actually did was, because of daylight savings, it is now... The lighting changed coming through my window, so I had to adjust the lights a little bit. But no, nothing else has changed. And I did my Colby hair tonight. So that was my other...
Wait, why wasn't it always, going to be kind of pitch black at 9 o'clock p.m. before and after daylight savings time?
You would think, but... Okay, so one of two things happened. Either it was daylight savings time, or Hugh screwed with the settings on the lights because of a power outage. I wasn't sure which, but it did seem... It was dark. It wasn't light enough. I'm like, oh, is there light coming through the window? You're right, it probably is pitch black out. I don't know. My curtain's closed.
Oh, no, I see what you mean. Yeah, it's totally possible that the Hue thing doesn't know about daylight savings time. I was shocked to discover that in this house there are many different thermostats and they each control a slightly different thing. There's the bathroom one of the bathrooms is fancy. It has heated floors. It has its own thermostat. And then did I tell you about my smart thermostat saga? Maybe I didn't mention this.
That one I don't think so, no.
All right. So, much like the smart lock last time, one of the things I wanted to do, and I couldn't do it for a stupid reason, in their current house, smart lock should be okay. It's an antique door, and we kind of don't want to screw with it. But smart thermostat, that was the thing I wanted. And so we get into this house, and it has the fancy heat pump technology for the heating and the air conditioning. So it has both heating and air conditioning, which I've never had before. I'm like, oh shit, this is going to be great.
Mm-hmm.
Get one of those smart thermostats. And there's only one thermostat in the house, but that's okay because I get a smart thermostat and put the little temperature sensors in all the rooms, and we'll be golden. Except that, did you know that these smart thermostats just straight up do not work with heat pumps? They kind of do. They'll tell you that they do. But thermostats only have 3 fan speeds. Low, four. Off, low, medium, and high. But heat pumps can go to very widely variable fan speeds, like 2%, just barely pushing air out, and you lose a lot of your electrical efficiency if you only let it go into one of those 3 modes. And so you have to use the fancy thermostat that only works with your system. You cannot replace it with just any old thermostat. You could, but you'd be spending you'd add $100 a year to your electrical bill, and it's these smart thermostats are supposed to do the opposite of that. So that was frustrating. But I found a GitHub project online where, here's another thing. You can buy a little dingus to plug into your heat pump thingy somewhere. I'm not exactly sure where. And then there's some shitty Wi-Fi service, and then you can control it from your phone. And I was like, well, that's fine. Because all I really want to be able to do is turn the air conditioning on my way home in the summer. That is the number one use case.
Mm-hmm.
But Mitsubishi doesn't make that anymore. They just made it for 1 year, and then it's just perpetually out of stock. But then someone on GitHub was like, oh, well, you can just hook an Arduino or a Raspberry Pi up to this thing and solder the connections yourselves into this thing that fits into the plug, and then you can control it yourself. So maybe someday, if I'm feeling ambitious, I will do that. But in the meantime, I have I have a 3-year-old state-of-the-art heating and cooling system that I cannot control from my phone, and no amount of money that I can pay to allow myself to do it, which is pretty shocking.
You're basically in hell.
Yeah, so far it's been fine. But and I think only though because the upstairs is a little bit warmer than the downstairs, as is always the case, and the downstairs is colder than the middle floor. If people were actually living in the downstairs, it would be too cold. And then I suspect that in the winter, maybe if I made it so that the downstairs was sufficiently warm, the upstairs would be too hot. I don't know. So that's the latest update in Dan Home Improvement Hour.
Damn.
You never win.
No, you got a lot going on.
No. And we talked about the garbage disposal.
No, I don't think we talked about that.
What?
Don't tell me you have a smart internet-connected garbage disposal, because then I'm really going to say you've gone too far.
No.
I hooked my Raspberry Pi up to the garbage disposal.
We thought the dishwasher was broken, and then the dishwasher repair person said that the plumbing was clogged, and the plumbing people were like, you should drain it into the sink thing, the same drain that the sink uses, but you should have a garbage disposal. But then I don't have an electrical connection under the sink, and you have to have one. It has to be the GFCI, blah, 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 blah.
Yep.
Yeah. So that whole project is also more complicated. Did you know that if you want to have a garbage disposal, it has to be on its own circuit?
Yep.
And my circuit breaker is already full, and we have other things we want to add and stuff. And so the cascade continues.
Can I give you a tip, Dan?
Yes.
Do what I did, which is hire somebody who doesn't care and doesn't follow permits. And you can get anything you want installed. You'd be shocked what they'll install.
Yeah.
When they say good enough, or it probably, as long as you don't use the microwave and the oven at the same time, it won't trip the breaker. Comments like that are how you get whatever you want out of your home.
Yeah.
Dan's not at that point yet.
No. Dan has an actual nice house. That's the difference.
What was depressing was, and this gets into why I'm reluctant to do that, but when we got the homeowner's insurance, I'm going through this online form, which is amazing because, back when I got car insurance a couple of years ago, there was no online form. It was like you fill out the form and then someone's going to call you. But this was like, oh yeah, we'll go around and take some photos and we'll get it all taken care of for you. I was like, great, that sounds great. And I just start filling out the form. Like the first question is like, where's your house? And how much did you pay for it? And like put it in. It's like, boop. Congratulations. You are eligible for the USAA high value homeowners experience. and the picture was of like, what's the famous ski resort in Colorado? The like an Aspen Vale, like all glass mountain chalet, and it's like no, you don't understand. I just paid a shitload of money for a regular ass house, and then it's like, oh, what is your siding made out of? I'm like, regular siding shit. Like, what is your roof made out of? I'm like, literally the shittiest roof material you can imagine. I answered all their questions in the lowest category, but simply because of the price of Seattle houses, I was considered a premium high value. I was eligible, and I was congratulated. It wasn't apologies. It wasn't. I'm so sorry.
Congratulations.
Did they ask for your butler's phone number?
So, anyways, I would be reluctant to do something that would cause the homeowner's insurance to go up even more. Because then I found out, I was like, oh, if you pay a shitload of money to get your roof redone with better roof materials, your homeowner's insurance will go down. I was like, oh, that's nice. That's extra incentive. But yeah, I don't know. And I guess they don't do inspections. They were also like, oh, we're going to send out an inspector to inspect your house. They never did. And the policy went through just fine. So I think maybe they looked at my answers to the form.
They looked it up on Google Maps, and they were like, oh.
Well, I actually did once talk to the insurance company guy whose job it was to come inspect the house, and he told me their job is only to make sure the house exists.
No,
like that, like it's
They
standing.
just drive by.
No, he did though. He got out of the car to take a picture of the house, and that's when I like, hey, who are you? Like what? And he goes, oh, I'm with the insurance company. I'm like, do you need to come in? He's like, no, I just need to prove this isn't a scam and there's an actual house here, because you'd be surprised how many people they'll take out a policy on a house that doesn't exist. I said, okay.
Oh, so
well,
maybe they did come by and just took a photo of the house.
on a drive-by photography. Probably.
Speaking of people driving by, we're trying to replace this roof, and we've gotten many quotes, like 5 or 6, and I'm told that I shouldn't be surprised that the person that our real estate agent recommended came in with a quote just as good as the best quotes, but was the second cheapest person also. And so we're like, I guess we'll go with you. The only thing is, we've never actually seen this person. But I am pretty confident that he actually exists because he did it all from the outside, which is a little, I don't know. Some people did that. Some people came inside and went through the crawl space. Some people didn't. It was, but whatever. It's a really good deal. So hopefully, and I wouldn't do it if it wasn't for the fact that the real estate agent recommended them. If it's just like some random Yelp person I found who never came inside and never saw them. But today we asked for like the samples of the different colors of the roof. By the way, they all look exactly the same color to me. And he did drop them off. I still never saw him. He didn't ring the doorbell, or actually, we still don't have a doorbell. He didn't knock on the door or anything. But 2 pristine samples of these shingles showed up on my doorstep. So someone is like in the area that I'm communicating with, and hopefully will not totally butcher this roof.
Look, again, Dan, you're an exclusive VIP, so maybe it's a discreet service, right? Like,
right.
A celebrity lives here.
Right.
Don't make any eye contact with Dan, okay? He's a very private guy.
Contactless.
I like
Wow.
that.
Wow.
That's me.
Nice.
Well, that's exciting stuff, Dan. Hopefully you'll get it settled sooner rather than later, because I know it's scheduling all that and dealing with quotes and all this. It is a full-time job. It really is.
On top of my other 2 full-time jobs, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I'm there for you. I'm having some new flooring installed in my basement in a couple weeks.
Ooh.
The flooring's pretty easy because you just pick it out and they come and do it. There's not a lot of complexity to it. So, other than picking out a color you like.
Nice.
And do you have to consort with anyone on this color, or do you get full discretion on the color?
Well, my mother lives in the basement. It's her bedroom, so I actually get no opinion on the color. She gets to pick it because it's her bedroom. And I said that's fine. I don't need to have an opinion as long as you stay within budget. I don't care what you pick. So beautiful vinyl that looks sort of like wood. So because we were on a vinyl budget.
Noise.
No shame in that.
I don't have any upcoming home improvement projects.
That's amazing. I can't wait to be able to say that.
Our garbage disposal was being super weird for a while, and knock on wood, like it would sometimes, like if the dishwasher was on, it would trip the breaker type of stuff. Like, but it seems to be.
It sounds
okay
like
now.
your garbage disposal isn't up to code then.
Well, it is on its own circuit, which is
weird.
even more irritating. But
So here's a question. Speaking of garbage disposals, I've another slide tile added to the puzzle was now I have to, because all of the, I don't understand why this is, but all of the plumbers I've talked to have been like, oh yeah, we could buy the garbage disposal for you, but it's going to cost you way more. I'm like, why? Shouldn't it cost less? But okay, sure, fine. And sure enough, they're like, it'll be $500. It's like the most expensive one at Home Depot is like $300. It's like, yeah, it's insane. So
you can get a garbage disposal for like $80.
yeah. So here, and all of them were like, you want to get the biggest one that you can. I was like, I guess that makes sense, maybe. And then what do? Then you start reading reviews on garbage disposals because, like, how am I supposed to know which garbage disposal to get? And I'm reading these reviews, and they're doing shit like, oh, how quickly can you take like a chicken leg and run it through this garbage disposal?
Yeah,
like,
aren't the tests wild?
That is, correct me if I'm wrong, that is not what you're supposed to do with a garbage disposal. A garbage disposal is a nice, convenient thing to make it extremely unlikely that you'll ever have to call a plumber to unclog your drain. It is not, and it is misnamed. It is not a garbage. It's not a thing in which to dispose garbage. Is my understanding. But
like
like
drain
like
clearer.
Q-tips and like other things like that. I think the the garbage disposal companies are, happy to let you think that, but if you actually ask them, they would say, "Oh no, it's just meant for like, that little green bean that slipped down your drain and stuff." What do you use your garbage disposal for?
Human bones.
Well, good thing, the top end incinerator will grind that up in about 3.5 seconds, according to the Consumer Reports review.
Well, I'm actually trying to look up which incinerator I bought to make it my pick this week. Because I do think picking garbage disposal is pretty fantastic. Because I kid you not, I've installed 4 different garbage disposals. It's one thing I am very good at. It's not hard.
Sean, based on the quotes, it would probably be cheaper for me to fly you out here and back than hire the plumber.
You laugh. I would do it because it's not. You know what, Dan? Give yourself credit. It's not that hard to do.
Now, what about rerouting the drain from the dishwasher into the sink? Is that something that you take care of as well, Sean?
Well, no, because the garbage disposal makes it easy. There's a little hole on the side. So coming out of the garbage disposal, there's like 2 holes. One is like the out to the sewer. And one, you just it's a little clip, and you just click it right in, and you're done. Like, it's super easy to do.
Okay.
So I'm happy to teach you a few things, young whippersnapper. But what do I put down my garbage disposal? I put down probably less than you would think. Generic food scraps, but like post dinner, not a lot of cooking scraps. Well, like carrot peels and potato peels. I guess a lot of stuff, all organic stuff.
Interesting. And do you have composting in the great state of Massachusetts?
No. I do not. Okay.
I do. I don't. I do anything that falls down there that is going to go through the thing.
Right.
But I don't there are very few things that I will actively put down.
Right. You don't take your vegetable scraps that you've peeled and cut up and just dump them in the sink and turn it on.
Right. I will put them in the trash.
But you'll see my pickup garbage disposal. And my advice is, if you want to make your life easy and just grind everything, invest in a good, because I've had them clog on me in the past. I've had cheaper ones clog on me. And I picked up the incinerator 3/4 horsepower Select Plus. And this thing, you'd be shocked what you can put down this thing. And
They said that 3/4 is the minimum I should buy, they said.
Smart. Good people. Don't go with the 5/8. I think 1 horsepower is probably, I think my lawnmower isn't even that powerful. That's a lot. But
the human bones.
Well, honestly, just dump it all down there. Your regular trash, your recycling.
Here's another thing that I was, and again, it underscored the fact that I treat this very differently than apparently some people treat it. A lot of people in the reviews are making a big deal about how loud they are. And I was like, I run it for 3 to 5 seconds once every 2 days. It would be nice if it were quieter. That is a plus, but it doesn't seem I don't think I would ever have a garbage disposal. If I had one right now and if I turned it on, it would have to be so loud for me to think this is too loud.
But that's also a cost thing. Like the $80 bargain basement contractor grade one is really loud. I will say, there is a noise difference as you go up in price. It's sort of at some point, Dan, I'm sure you'll have to put in a bathroom fan. That is another one where they put on the box how loud it is. And you should pay to get one that's quieter because
that runs the entire time you're taking a shower.
Well, that's true, but at the same time, it's I don't know, let's say you have a late night snack of something you want to destroy. Lena's asleep upstairs. You turn on the garbage disposal. It sounds like a monster truck. You don't want that. That'll ruin your relationship.
I see. Yeah, it's funny. The downstairs bathroom, I think, is the original bathroom. It's very, very old, but it looks cool. And the upstairs bathroom is modern. In fact, you're making me feel more comfortable, Sean. Its fan upstairs is so quiet that I questioned if it was doing anything at all.
Isn't that great? The new brushless motors, because I'm actually putting in one downstairs right now, so I recently bought one. The brushless motors are shockingly quiet. It's amazing.
The one downstairs, I should take a photo of it. It does at first glance resemble like a jet turbine. It's like totally 50s, 60s stainless steel.
Yeah.
Like you could totally fit your whole hand through the grate. There's like no grill on it at all. And it sounds like there's an engine taking off, but you can also feel it. Like it's seriously moving some air. Absolutely no fog in that bathroom if you take a shower, which I appreciate that. As someone who's, has to now be responsible for mold growing on the ceiling, I'm like, hey, that sounds pretty good, actually.
I don't know. As a person who doesn't have a fan at all in their bathroom, I think that problem's overblown.
Also, not
you just
code.
open the window.
Oh, you have a window. Okay.
Yes, there is a window. It's not just a box in the in the middle.
I've generally been in those New York apartments where it's just a box. Yeah.
Yeah. No, there's a window. Fans.
Very nice. Very nice. Anything else of note going on, gentlemen?
This weekend was St. Patrick's Day, as you all know. And I'm proud to say that me and all of my property survived not one, not two, but 3 Dropkick Murphys concerts in the neighborhood. So
wow.
Feels great. We made it through.
Iconic Irish
separate
band.
Instances.
Yes, I had 2 different venues.
Jeez.
Really,
This must be like their Super Bowl.
It really, they shipped up to Boston. I kind of wish I went, but I didn't know it was happening ahead of time.
You should have gotten a tour T-shirt made of all the dates and times. The Dropkick Murphys St. Patty's Day tour.
Yeah.
Yeah, an American Celtic punk rock band formed in Quincy, Massachusetts. I did not know this.
Yes. Beloved local icon.
Yep. I learned on a podcast once that there was a period of time in which they were banned from performing in Boston by the mayor of Boston himself banned the Dropkick Murphys from performing.
Okay.
Because it was too rowdy and things got broken and stuff.
So one of my many favorite Wikipedia features is on any page for a band, you can scroll down to the graph of who's been in this band and over which time periods. And that was the first thing I scrolled to. And I'm interested to see that they've had a lot of turnover in the bagpipe section with characters like Spicy McHaggis, Scruffy Wallace, and Lee Forshner most recently. But they're not linked up above. I want to know more about Spicy McHaggis.
Not notable enough to get a Wikipedia page?
Oh, Scruffy Wallace has a Wikipedia page, though.
Wow, and there's only one person who's been in it the entire time.
Yeah.
Is his name Dropkick Murphy?
Mr. Murphy.
The founder of the band. Wow.
Wow. Who knew? Wow. Am I correct in thinking that Kaylee Bryan's daughter is named after a Dropkick Murphy song?
His name's Spicy McHaggis.
Tessie is one of their most successful songs, right up with "I'm Shipping Up to Boston." So yeah, I didn't. Is that true though? I didn't know those things were related.
I feel like I can picture Brian saying that,
oh,
but I don't know if it's like my brain filling in the gaps. Like it seems plausible, or if he actually said that.
Maybe they figured that out after they picked the name. I'm not sure. That's a good question though.
Maybe. Amazing. Yeah, that was my weekend. I just stayed inside.
Dang.
The one time I went outside, there were dudes throwing poppers into the mailboxes, and I was like, I gotta go back inside. I can't.
Hooligans.
Yes, but older hooligans, 30-year-old hooligans. You know the type.
Yeah, old Irish hooligans. Yes, I do.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Well, that's exciting. I hope you got your taste of green beer or whatever it is they do on St. Patrick's Day.
Yes, by taste, I had none.
Okay.
Fine.
All right.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good.
We did have some corned beef last weekend at my parents', which I had corned beef for the first time last year. And growing up as a child, I always thought the corn in corned beef was like corn on the cob corn.
Actual corn.
It's not. It's peppercorn, which is way less gross to imagine.
Spicy beef.
Yeah. I think it's good.
I never put that together.
Yeah, it's brisket. It's brisket prepared in a different kind of way, but it's not bad.
Yeah, the name does not sound good.
No.
Corned beef sounds like something that's been in a can since the war.
Exactly. Right. Like creamed corn.
Yes.
Yes.
Just doesn't sound right.
Right.
Hash also. There's something about hash, beef hash, or any kind of hash just bothers me. Just doesn't sound right.
Yeah. Something about it. Tastes good though.
I don't think I've ever had creamed corn.
I feel like anything with cream in the name, I think of like cream of mushroom soup.
Sure.
And it seems gross.
It's not. I don't think it's that. Is it? What is creamed corn?
Creamed corn?
Creamed corn is cream and corn. It's like sweet corn sauce.
I feel like I've had like creamed spinach, which is the same thing. It's like spinach and cream.
Oh, yeah. It's corn, it's cream, sugar, milk, butter, flour, cheese.
Sugar. Wow.
I have a great recipe for corn chowder, which isn't that far off.
I imagine corn chowder is soupier. Soupier.
Yes, it is looser.
Superior.
And then you put my recipe is potatoes and bacon and a bunch of other stuff.
Right.
Okay, this doesn't look too bad. Maybe I'll try creamed corn.
It really looks kind of good.
All right, I guess that means we got to take the creamed corn challenge. Not going to make you make creamed corn. Wouldn't dare.
Wow.
I would do it. It doesn't sound that hard.
No, I don't. I would agree. And they got all different recipes. You put all kinds of different things. It's kind of like mac and cheese almost, except with corn instead of mac. Okay.
Yeah.
It's only making it sound better.
Yeah. We've made an aggressive pivot from home improvement podcast to cooking recipe podcast.
Yes.
We're multi-talented. Excellent. Well, listen, guys, we do have a few stories in the rundown.
We'd better.
We'd be remiss if we didn't talk about some amount of tech news. Not a lot this time of year. But there are a few stories in here. We got AI in Microsoft Office. We got YouTube TV raising the prices, the end of magazine and newspaper sales through Amazon. We've got Netflix games. We got the end of Google Glass Enterprise, any of that, or another story of your choosing.
I just realized I was looking at the wrong rundown page.
We can talk about an old story, too. That works.
I gotta open all the links.
Oh, boy. Well, while you're doing that, I guess I'll do my usual spiel. Thanking everybody watching us live right now in the Triple Cast. That's right, live on our YouTube channel, our Facebook page, and on Twitch. We appreciate you if you're watching us live. If you are, comment and ask us a question. We may talk about it on the show. We're live Monday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific, for those of you on the West Coast.
Should we talk about Copilot?
That's, I've said before on the show, AI to me is like NFTs or the metaverse. It's definitely an overblown tech trend. But to get me excited about AI, you got to put it in Microsoft Office. Now I'm getting like, okay, now this is real technology. Microsoft announced an upcoming feature that's going to be added to their Office suite called Copilot. Sadly, they didn't bring back Clippy. I wish they did. This would be the perfect opportunity. But basically, it's AI-powered assistant within all of their apps. It appears as a chatbot in the sidebar. And they give a lot of different examples for you could be in the middle of a Word document, and it will gently appear when you highlight an entire paragraph. You can use it to rewrite your paragraphs with 10 different suggestions, or you can have Copilot generate entire documents for you. In Excel, you can have it create a pivot table, create a graph, or just help you understand the data in front of you. So it could be a sales Excel sheet, and you could say, find 3 trends in this data, and it will do it. They also give great examples of it in Outlook, where it can help you write emails, offering up short or long message drafts and options to change the tone. Do you want it to be more friendly? Do you want it to be more serious? Especially on mobile, could be an interesting opportunity. And this article has all kinds of different examples. They say they're rolling it out slowly. It will be initially available to just 20 businesses before they open it up to more when it's ready. And they're starting with enterprise customers before rolling it out to consumers. So you as a consumer might be a little while before you get it. Although this does match up to some feature Google announced for their own Gmail and Google Docs earlier this week. So certainly more to come on the AI front.
I was just going to take issue. It doesn't spot trends, right? It comes up with trends given a set of data that humans will find plausible. Because the AI is trained on here's a bunch of data, and here's what a human says it is. Now extrapolate that to apply to other kinds of data or other kinds of inputs. Which is it could sound like it's a distinction without a difference, but this difference is the thing that comes up when people are like, I asked it to write an email. I asked it to summarize an article that Sean wrote, in the New York Times, and it just made up an article that Sean wrote in the New York Times. It's like, yeah, because if the person is asking for something that doesn't exist, what they'll find most plausible is if you just pretend that it does exist. But there is no thought or pretending. It's just pure input-output math. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. I mean, I certainly hope this thing doesn't make up data wholesale, but I don't think
it
this
will.
is going to. Well, I'm hoping it doesn't, because I want to be optimistic. Damn it! But no, I do think. Do I think this will spot trends a human would have missed? No, I think it's just going to do it faster than a person would. That's I think, and I think it's the same in writing email. The data thing's a little sketchier to me than like writing an email. I think it can do that well. But even in this Excel example that they show, that Microsoft shows, these trends the AI found out is like sales are trending up for all customer except a specific customer, which is down this quarter. It's like, that's not really innovative. Like, you can just look at a list of numbers and figure that out. So I don't think it's getting that deep. I think it's mostly writing the answer that you probably could have already found. But I'm just speculating.
Now, Dan, have you tried the other Microsoft Copilot product for the programming one? What are your thoughts?
It's helpful for stupid things and actively harmful for more complicated things. Like, it's have you ever worked with someone who only tells you what you want to hear, but then actually doesn't really know what they're doing? Like, I've had this experience so many times, and those people are worse than not having anyone at all, because you're like, so-and-so's got this taken care of. And actually, they don't have it taken care of, and now it's going to take it even longer for this thing to get done than if you had just done it in the beginning. And that's what it feels like with these things if you're not careful, which is like, you're like, oh, great, it can, like, I gave it this URL, and I told it to write a fetch, and it did it. And now I'm like, parse the output, and it doesn't know what the output is, so it just makes up. It's like, I don't know, it looks like Dan's curling, like, this Mastodon API, and so Mastodon often associated with things that look like this, therefore it's probably this, and like maybe it's that, but maybe it's not. But there's no difference in the output. You can't tell which things it's confident about and which things it's totally making up, because as far as it can tell, it's exactly as confident about all of them. It's just math. So That was my experience with Copilot. I miss it for the stupid stuff. It was really good for doing repetitive tasks like, okay, here I'm doing a switch statement on all this shit, and guess what? You know what the cases are, and the branches are all going to be exactly the same, so let's just press tab a bunch of times to get this over with. It's like, yeah, it's really good at that. It's not so good at, like, what would happen if, hey, refactor this code so that it does this other thing. It's like, no. But it'll never say no. It'll never be like, I can't do that.
Right.
No question is impossible.
It's the things it puts in often look a lot like,
because that is what it is actually doing. It's coming up with things that literally, my understanding, when they talk about the training sets of data, it's like the training set is input, output. And a human has taken the input and produced the output. And then you give a computer all these inputs and outputs and say, now infer how this works and do it for other things. But so in the classic example of this, I think I told the story of the Stripe thing about detecting fraud with credit card charges.
Yes.
And they showed, and then they could no longer explain why things got declined because it's unexplainable. It's exactly what's happening here.
But it's basically a parrot.
Yeah.
I mean, it's basically, it can learn words, but it's not really learning them. It's just regurgitating what it heard, sometimes in different jumbled ways. But that's why I think the idea of AI for data is a farther stretch than AI for narrative creativity, for lack of a better term. You know, the number one use for this with a bullet for me is I'm on the road or I'm in the car and doing something, an email comes in and I say, you know, Microsoft, tell them I have to cancel the meeting because I have a conflict. And they write a nice multi-sentence email that sounds like my voice that says, guys, I'm so sorry I have to cancel. Let's look to reschedule. That to me is the kind of stuff, they give another example in here with PowerPoints, where you can give it an existing PowerPoint and say, I want this PowerPoint, but I want all the slides green. Or I want you to reformat it this way. That sort of bulk design kind of stuff, I think, is what excites me about this. I totally agree. I would never send this off to analyze my Excel data. First of all, because I think that's fun, and I'm not going to let the machine do it. But also, I agree. God knows what they're going to come up with.
Yeah, I think that it's a fine line, though, because, like, imagine that scenario where you tell it, hey, decline the meeting. And, you know, what a lady in the tube would do today is you'd have to be like, give it the exact text to say. But you want it to be a little bit smarter than that. And you said not only do you want it to, you know, express what you said, you also want to do it nicely.
Yes.
But imagine then, you could imagine like, oh, well, wouldn't it be cool if, you know, if the AI knew that you have a conflict during this time. So someone's like, hey, Sean, no, it's really important that you be here, that it still is like, no, you know, it makes sure that you're not, right? But you could imagine that in that case, the AI is like, sorry, my mom died, because like, it's just like input, person asked me to do something. Okay. Given like all these prior inputs, like I already said I couldn't go and now they're asking me to go. What is a thing that like achieves I guess I'll just say this. That has tended to achieve the desired outcome.
I love that. That's so funny. Because the thing is, if everyone's using it, then that stuff will happen all the time. We, get a good laugh out of it. You know, it reminds me of the old. I have someone who I can't believe this. I thought everyone got rid of this. You know how all the emails you say sent from my iPhone by default, which I thought nobody. I have someone who says, sent from my iPhone, typos by Apple, which is a very cheesy old person thing to do. I get that. But pretty soon, you're not wrong. It's going to say this email generated with AI. Sorry if it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Wild.
So
yeah.
Did you read the thing about Samsung and the moon this week? This isn't in the rundown, but
yeah,
it's somewhat related. Samsung detects if it thinks that you are taking a photo of the moon and then assumes that you are, and then takes the data that is in the photo and tries to extrapolate out what the moon would look like if you were trying to take a picture of the moon and this is the photo you took. Which is different than like using only the data found in this photograph, sharpen it or something, right? And so people were doing things like take a photo of the moon, draw a smiley face on it, blur it out on my computer screen, take a photo with my phone, and then it like the smiley face is no longer there at all. It's just like that kind of looks like a moon. Insert AI generated generic moon photo. But again, you can imagine that happening with way more things too. Where it's like the text thing, and then it's like, what does it mean for Sean to send an email? Did Sean say any of this? How much of this did he mean? We already have a hard enough time communicating and expecting people to read between the lines, but then they don't read between the lines enough, or being too explicit, and then it comes across as rude because you're laying things out when you should have just left it unsaid. Yeah. I think that, and this is my other hot take, I think all the other industries are going to escape this just fine. I think the tech sector is going to be totally fucked by this because everyone's so excited, and we're all going to start using it, and it's going to be a disaster. That is my hot take. But the lawyers and the finance people, this is never even going to come up for them. They're not going to be in the Microsoft 100 company test project, and by the time it could roll out to them, everyone will have realized how terrible of an idea it is. I think you're totally right. I think my hot take is I think that the AI stuff is good at taking something that a human generated and making it less and compressing it. But it is terrible at taking something that a human generated and elaborating on it, because just mathematically it doesn't work that way. But it's really good at like, here's this meeting, tell me the action items. Like, well, okay, I know what action items look like, and action items tend to be like preceded by these words and followed by these words, and so like Colby's going to do this and Sean's going to do that. And if you get it wrong, it's not that big of a deal. But if you say, like, given this meeting where we didn't talk about any action items, imagine what the action items could be, then who knows what it's going to come up with. But it will come up with, it'll never be like, there are no action items. It's like, of course not. There could always be something hidden in here that someone didn't intend to be an action item. Someone made a joke. It's like, oh, man, yeah, we should totally just release a new roofing product that's just nails on the outside. And then AI's like, action item, nails on the outside. Yeah.
By the way, great product name. Trademark that. Nails on the outside. Innovative stuff.
Then when you want to put your new layer of roof on, it's pre-nailed. You just slam the shingle in. Yeah.
I think we need to do some kind of Don't Panic ChatGPT challenge.
What would that look like? I love that idea. What would that look like?
Sean was just noting down nails on the outside for
that's leading for episode title. So we'll see if that sticks. Let's just come up with something better.
Maybe we can ask ChatGPT for Apple predictions.
Yes, I think. How about honestly, that's not. What if we each took as homework for the next episode? Let's try and get an AI generated text story. Each of us bring. Or something like that. We'll make some homework.
Okay.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting. More to come on that, or it'll just be a fad. What was it? I think it was in the rundown. Was it last week? And we didn't talk about it. But Meta killed off NFT support on Facebook and Instagram. So, who knows? Maybe AI will be the next one that falls off the trend bandwagon. All right. Well, any other news story you guys want to talk about before going on to picks? Slow news cycle. Yeah. Getting some miss. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, we can move on to picks. It's part of the show where we just bring something interesting we want to share with you, the listener. I will go first since the other guys don't have picks in here yet. First of all, I absolutely have to pick the InSinkErator Evolution Select Plus Lift and Latch Quiet Series 3/4 horsepower continuous feed garbage disposal. Available at your local Home Depot. It's the red one. It looks sexy under your sink even though no one sees it, and it's a high quality product. So I do recommend. Easy to install and really chops them up good.
Is it quiet?
It's, I'm not going to lie. I've used a lot of garbage disposals. It's probably quietest one I've ever used. Because the thing is, once you hit that price point, to go to the next level, you're talking a $500 plus, those are just like deadly silent. At this one, it's a good like money to sound ratio. It's pretty quiet.
All
I
right.
definitely want to know that my garbage disposal is on.
That's true.
Like, I don't want it too quiet. 'Cause that just
You're going to
seems
stick your hand down there and
That's
Yeah,
what I was
just-
wondering.
just
Do some
forget.
people just leave their garbage disposal on for like minutes at a time while they're like doing something that seems super dangerous?
well, I mean, if I'm like gonna dump stuff down and then in a minute I'm gonna dump more stuff, but usually the water's running and I'm active and like I know it's on. I can't think of a time I've ever like left it on by mistake.
You're not supposed, having installed and read the directions for a garbage disposal, like, you're not supposed to run it without the water being on.
Oh, yeah.
If I
That's a
recall
big
correctly. Yeah. I'm sure, obviously nothing bad happens if you do, but like, it probably doesn't do the thing either. Like, super well.
It's an investment in your quality of life, the incinerator. No, guys, this week I'm picking sports gambling. Oh no, I did it. Now legal in the state of Massachusetts, I decided, you'll never guess what I placed my first ever sports bet on.
Soccer.
No, I did it on Marist College to win the MAC tournament against Iona. And spoiler alert, I didn't win.
They did not.
So not a great first bet. But I figured, you know what, I'm going to give this thing a chance. And, of course, the deal is if you put in a little bit of money, they give you a bunch of free money to gamble with. And, again, not advocating gambling, certainly if it's illegal in your state. But I did turn that $200 free dollars into $700 actual dollars. So I've done pretty well so far. And the apps make it shockingly easy to do. I see how it's a problem.
Yeah, I bet they do.
But if you've got some money in there, you're just betting on different sports, the money line, the spread, parlays, all the different fun things, outcomes. I've bet NBA games, NHL games, the NCAA
What's
tournament.
a parlay?
A parlay is where multiple bets have to occur in order to win. So you bet like 3 or 4 different bets and you stack them. But then your odds of winning money are much greater because the odds are worse theoretically. So I would say in a game, I'd be like, LeBron James is going to score more than 20, and Anthony Davis is going to have more than 5 rebounds, and the Lakers will score over 110 points. And so you stack them, and if they all win, you get a greater share of money. But it's a little more fun than just betting on the straight outcome, because then there's a little more sort of strategy to it. I don't do much parlays because they're hard to hit, unless you really know the sports and the games really well. I mostly, honestly, just do the money line, where I'll go on and see, like I'm looking at this right here. Fourth quarter in the Warriors-Rockets game. Rockets are terrible, but they're only down by 6, and right now the money line on them is 5.20, which means if I wagered $10, I'd win $52. Well, that's interesting. They're only down by 6. There's plenty of time left. They've hung with them all game. Is it worth the risk to with that kind of upside? Maybe. So you throw a little money at it, That's it. Mildly fun, easy to do. And like I said, out of the free money they gave me, I turned it into other money. So
Real money.
into actual real dollars.
Now, does the thing with online sports betting, does the thing that I was led to believe by TV from like offline illegal sports betting still continue, where like if you lose a bunch of money and don't pay, some guy comes and breaks your fingers?
The thing is, this is directly connected to some sort of digital. You have to put the money in first.
Oh,
You don't bet on their money. You bet. And it's easy. You can connect your Venmo right to it, and they just take your money. They're very good at it. But I'll also give them credit. Getting your money out's very easy too, because it's connected to your Venmo. So they'll just send it right to you.
Slurping it up right from your bank account.
Absolutely. So
So
be smart,
convenient.
but honestly, it's made sports, I think, more interesting. And, I put a bet in on the Oscars the other night. So, and next year when Matt and I do the prop bet challenge, we're going to bet some real money. So, anyway, I picked FanDuel. There's a bunch of different apps out there, but I like it. And you get some free money the first time you do it. So that's my pick this week. And boy, you guys are definitely picking some stuff to watch, Dan. What do you got here?
When Lena broke her leg, we were like, oh, great. Now we get to catch up on all the TV that we missed. And we've only watched one TV show, which is Only Murders in the Building, which I would describe as, well, the premise is a group of people who are really into murder mystery, or let me say true crime podcasts, meet and get together to make their own podcast about a murder in their building. And I would describe it as like that mixed with a little bit of Knives Out, like cinematography and ridiculousness. It's like really fun to watch and has a lot of humor to it, but is also like you're thinking about it at night, like, oh, who did do it and what is happening? It's really good.
Awesome. Third season's coming out, right?
We just finished the second season last night.
Yeah, Meryl Streep and Paul Rudd, I believe, are in the new season.
I love. It does seem like they have a little running gag. I won't say anything. Never mind. Don't want to spoil anything.
That's awesome, though. That's been on my to-watch list. So, Only
really
Murders
good.
in the Building on your local Hulu. Very cool. Colby, you got another laugh-a-minute show here.
Oh yeah. I mean, I as a person who played like a third of the video game and then stopped, I thought the Last of Us TV show was great. But yeah, I don't have anything to compare it to. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was good. It's like there's like some crazy zombie stuff, but it's not that much of the show is zombie stuff. Perhaps shockingly. I didn't think it was too scary. I don't like super scary things. So, check it out if you like HBO shows. I thought it was good.
Pedro Pascal is just the man.
Right.
Is there anything he can't do?
Right. You got that and a new season of The Mandalorian. Come on.
It's never been a better time to be Pedro Pascal.
Is it for real? It's probably true.
And do you know, like, he and Oscar Isaac are, like, good friends? And if you ever see their videos of them, like, together, they're so... Because Oscar Isaac, I think, is amazing, too. And they're so funny when they're together. They do interviews and stuff. Because they're both from South America. I forget which country. Central America? Whatever. Chile? I don't know. Very cool. Yeah, on HBO, The Last of Us, available for streaming. Can I do a third pick? Am I allowed to do that? Is that like a record?
This is unprecedented.
Unprecedented. We're talking sports betting. We're talking garbage disposals. And I do have something else you can watch on Netflix. I just finished watching Full Swing, which is Netflix did one of those really glossy documentaries on the last season of golf. Have you guys ever seen like F1 Drive to Survive? Is another one they did. But basically it follows, it's only 8 episodes, but it follows like the world's best golfers at their different tournaments, all behind the scenes stuff. It tells their stories. Full Swing. It's very good. And I don't like golf or know anything about it, but this actually left me like learning things about golf and who the players are. And it actually made it more interesting. It's only 8 episodes. It's very watchable. So if you're looking for something different, it's just a great documentary series. Full Swing.
Nice.
Awesome. Good picks this week, man. We're kicking ass here. Very good, guys. This careens us towards the finish. Anything else you guys would like to say or do this evening?
No.
Oh, what more is there to say?
Let's put it all on the field.
We gave it 110%. We really brought our A game. I hope everyone out there enjoyed it. Of course, you can go to our website, don'tpanic.io. Links to all 8,000 picks we made tonight will be there in addition to the audio and the video. You can subscribe or if you get podcasts, just look for that big red Don't Panic button with the video version on YouTube. See our beautiful faces in 1080p. And also, make sure you get a hold of us at Don't Panic Show on Twitter, or you can email us, don'tpanicshow@gmail.com. But we're going to start to wrap it up here. So on behalf of Colby and Dan, I'm Sean. Greatly appreciate you guys being here on another awesome episode. We'll be back next time for more tech news and home improvement / cooking advice on another Don't Panic.